Hello guys, this is David from the Mr. Black YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do the Blood of the Dead Easter egg solo. So the first thing that we're going to go over is your class setup. For elixirs, I recommend anywhere but here. If you get caught in a corner, you can pop this, it'll save you. I recommend Arsenal Accelerator if you're playing solo. Otherwise, I would maybe recommend nowhere but there for co-op in case one of your teammates goes down. Otherwise, we do need to use a specialist weapon for this Easter egg, and we do need to charge it at a couple of points, so it does not hurt to have this and pop it occasionally. To get your specialist weapon charged faster. We need to get to level 2, just so you know. So our next thing that we're going to use is Temporal Gift. There's a step in this Easter egg where we do have to use a zombie blood power-up, and this will help it last longer if we pop it before we pick it up. And then finally, your last one, you can use whatever you want. You can use equipment, you can use stop auction, maybe if you're multiplayer or even on solo, you can use aftertaste. You know, this could help you if you want to keep your perks. This one is not too important. But if you want to have equipment, you can go ahead. Otherwise, you do have other options. If you were to pick another option, I'd say maybe stock option or aftertaste for your alternate elixirs. For your perks, I recommend you use Dying Wish. I recommend you use Quick Revive. I recommend you use Winter's Wail. And I recommend you use Stamina Up as your modifier. So to go over each again, if you accidentally go down or something, you have Dying Wish, you save all your perks and you don't go down. Quick Revive helps your health reveal faster. Winter's Wail is going to help with steps in the Easter egg. And Stamina Up is going to help because Blood is a very, very large map. And you're going to want to have this to get from point A to point B. Next up for your special weapons, I recommend using the Path of Sorrows. Otherwise, the Ragnarok's a great thing to use like as an alternative, but the Path of Sorrows has a dash attack, which helps with speed and stuff, and it's just overall a pretty good specialist. I recommend using whatever you want, but I recommend the Wraithfires as usual. As you've heard me say before, if you watch my other guides, they're just all around good to have on any map, regardless of what you're doing. Starting weapon does not matter, although I have a bias for the Strife, because again, the Stiletto Operator mod that you can equip on it gives you a one-hit knife melee till round 5. So without further ado, I'm going to get in the game, and I'm going to show you how to get started. Alright, so I just spawned in the game, and what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and do my strategy for the game start to get the power on early on. So if you don't know how to do that, you can go ahead and watch the video, my main map guide. I highly recommend, by the way, you watch all my main map guide before you watch this video. The only reason for that being is that there's a lot of stuff we have to do on this map. And if you watch that map guide, it might help you just know what you have to do. Just like I did with my 9 guide, though, I'm going to supercut between each important moment in my game until I get to where it's going to deviate from my map guide. So I'm going to go ahead and start supercutting now. So I just turned the first power switch on. I'm going to go ahead and walk through the catwalk. I'm just now killing Brutus to get my first shield part. Just now grabbing my second shield part. Got my second shield part. Sorry, I meant my third shield part. Turn the power on. Well, the second power switch anyways. Built my shield. Charging my shield with dog kills. I'm working on getting my first dog head done. I'm working on getting my second dog head done now. I'm going to work on getting my third dog head done. I'm going to get my numbers for the spoon. So 663. I'm going to get my Hell's Retriever. I'm going to input my numbers for the spoon step.
Looks good.
I'm going to get the silver spoon. Let's start getting more shield charges as we speak. I'm going to start getting my skulls for the Blundergat. And again, I just want to remind you that if you need any help with any of this stuff in this whole kind of prep phase for the Easter egg, go ahead and just click the link that I have in the description of this video. I will have a link that shows you, you know, how to do all this stuff that I'm doing right now. Gonna get my second skull. Okay, so I couldn't hit it through the barrier because it was up, so I'm just going to hit it from out here. Also doesn't hurt to buy stamina up right now because, again, we're going to be running around the map quite a bit. Going to get my third skull for the Blundergat. I'm going to get my fourth skull for the Blundergat. I'm going to get my fifth skull for the Blundergat. I got my free Blundergat. So now I'm going to work on the Magmagat. I'm going to corral the zombies up out here, take them all in there, pop my specialist, and get the fireplace lit up. And again, I do recommend using your specialist for this because we will need a level 2 specialist before we start the egg. Alright, so I have a pretty dense horde of zombies right here, so I'm going to take them in here. Gonna let them all come into this Warden's house. I'm gonna go put my Blundergat in the fireplace. I'm gonna wait for that for a second, and I'm gonna pop my specialist. I'm gonna pick up those little blue souls. That's 2 filled. Alright, now we got filled, so now we need to save a zombie. Try to get more kills with my specialist while I can, but also try to leave one at the same time. Alright, so now I just got my Magmagat, and I have to kill the Bruce that spawns in. Alright, so I just killed the Warden. That was a good power-up spawn. Okay, so this is kind of where the Easter egg really first starts, in my opinion. So this is really where it's going to start differing from my map guide. If this was my map guide, right now I'd go recommend you work on the Hell's Redeemer. But we do not need that for the main Easter egg. We only need the unupgraded Tomahawk. So for now, what you need to do is focus on getting your specialist to level 2. Now, as you can see, I did just get a full power from that Warden that I killed. If you do not get that, you can pop in one of the Arsenal Accelerators. So that's my elixir that I have. And when, after the round starts, so here, I'll show you. So you can kill the zombie, and then after the round starts, you get a horde come in. Go ahead and, after that horde gets rounded up, pop like the Arsenal Accelerator, which is this one right here. And then just go ahead and start killing everything to the best of your ability. But what I'm going to do is, since I got that full power, is I'm just going to wait for a horde, and I'm going to kill that horde with my katana to try to get it to level 2. So I believe I have about a full round's worth of zombies right here. So I'm going to go ahead and corral them up, and then I'm going to kill them all with my specialist to try to get it to level 2. So you gotta chop through all these guys. You do gotta make sure it's level 2. Sometimes even when the bar looks full, it's not actually level 2 yet, so do make sure you kill everything here. Alright, so we just got specialist level 2. Now I do need to charge it up again, so I'll get back to you once it's charged up once more. That was pure luck again. Again, if you don't have this luck, I'd recommend starting a new round, popping your Arsenal Accelerator, and then killing all the zombies. But, now that we have a level 2 fully charged specialist, we're going to want to progress the rounds since it's such a low round. And then we're going to want to get our free monkey bombs. And again, just a reminder, always make sure that you repair your shield. This is very important, because if you do not repair your shield, the shield charges, they will, when the shield breaks, you will lose your shield charges. And this Easter egg does require a lot of shield charges. So I'm just going to train around the cafeteria until I have a horde of zombies, and then I'm going to take them over to the library. Alright, so now I have all the zombies in the round just about. So now I'm going to go ahead and take them over to the library. Again, we're only on round 8, so it's pretty easy to run around them and corral them up. So we're just going to take all these guys over to the library, underneath the stairs that lead up to the middle cell block thing. Again, like that. So I might not get this now because of that. Just one tip, since I failed that step just a second ago. I highly recommend you also probably get rid of your strife by now and go get a better gun elsewhere. Alright, so we're going to do this again. I got a whole horde behind me. Just going to get him up in here. Try to charge up the monkey statue. So there we go, it's charged up, so we can go ahead and throw our tomahawk at it. Okay, not hit it, so I'm going to shoot with my gun instead. So now, after you hit the monkey statue, we're just going to go get the free monkey bombs. Now is also not a bad time to start working on getting the shield upgrade, and you may actually even want to try to get the upgrade shield before you get the monkey bombs, because you can get the monkeys out of the box. Again, I'm just trying to do this in a more guaranteed, quote-unquote, way to do it, I guess you could say. So I'm going to start hitting the box until I get the locket. So anyways, you're going to go grab your free monkey bombs. Now after you get your free monkey bombs, you can officially start the Easter egg. Now I did fail getting my upgraded shield right away from the box, so again, that's why it might help to have Winter's Wail on this map. Again, there's a lot of steps where it helps to save a zombie, so I did fail that last step, but I will show you what you have to do next. Again, you do not need your upgraded shield right away. but it just helps to get it as soon as you can, because there's a lot of steps that will need it. But we'll have more points coming down to us soon anyways, so there's nothing that's too big of a concern right now. So anyways, once you get your monkey bombs, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over here to the Warden's office, and you're going to want to melee the left side of these stairs right here that lead up to the Titan wall by. You're going to melee them. As you can see, there's little scratches in them now. After you melee them, you're going to want to go to the number dial pad, so I'll cut to you when I'm there. So I'm going to go ahead and punch in the number dials, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to enter in 666. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I just entered in 666. After you enter in 666, go ahead and run back to the Warden's house. So this is going to spawn in a Brutus. Whatever you do, make sure you do not kill this Brutus. We are going to have him break down a wall at his house. So I'm just going to run back to the Warden's house. You're going to want to wait around out here for the Warden to come around. So just stand out here until you see the Warden. Now once he gets nearby, you're going to run here, prime a monkey bomb, and throw it in the back left corner at the top of those stairs. Just like that. Now he should, if we did this right, go and break that wall down. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it looks like that didn't work. Go ahead and try again. If it doesn't work, you might have to get closer to the far left. Alright, so that time around it did work. You're going to go up into the office. You're going to look left and grab this little orb on this table. And then you're going to go up and flip this power switch right here on this chair. So after you go ahead and flip that switch, you can immediately just go and run back to spawn. Again, spawn's quite a long ways from here, so I'm going to go ahead and just use the cafeteria or fast travel portal. So again, now here I am back at spawn, and yes, you are going back to the original spawn. You're going to want to go up and square this little board on the wall here, and you should put your orb down. Now if you come over here on the floor, just diagonally across from it, there's going to be a little book. Go ahead and square that book. You're going to want to go back to the prison and check 3 different spots for a bird spawn. So the bird's going to spawn. You'll only be able to see it through your shield. And you're going to want to shield blast it once you find it. I do want to give a special shout out to the YouTube channel known as the No Thumb Screw. They're the ones that found out that there's only 3 spawn locations for the bird initially. So I just took the fast travel board back to the cafeteria. So your first spot can be above the cafeteria right here. If it's not there, it's going to be at the library. And as you can see, there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot it with my shield once I see it, and I want you to do the same. And if it's not there, it's going to be up here towards where you built the shield, basically, kind of like on maybe these metal prongs right here. So, and then that'll be your third and final spot for this bird. So what you're going to do in the meantime is you're going to start charging your spectral shield again throughout the rounds. You do need to get another bird shot, sorry, not bird shot, but another charged shield shot before you can continue on with the Easter egg. And just go ahead and start charging that shield up. What you're going to do is when the round progresses, the bird is going to spawn in again, and you're going to need to find him again and shield blast him just like we did last time. However, this time there's a catch. Instead of it just being one of 3 spots that the bird spawns in, it's one of 40 spots. I'm going to show you a route you can take that goes from spawn all the way to the last bird spot that's at the docks. And I'm going to show you every single spot, or if I'm not 100% confident where the exact spot is for the bird, I'm going to show you the general area where it does spawn. But I know just about probably like 95% of them in their exact locations on the map. So I'm going to go ahead and show you all the locations or the possible locations where they can spawn. Again, go ahead and make sure you're charging up your shield in the meantime. You're going to be doing this a lot throughout the map. It's not the funnest thing, but unfortunately it is a requirement for the Easter egg. And the Magmagat's great if you need to start building up points. So if you want to start killing zombies with the Magmagat, that's a very good strategy to have. Of course, always make sure that you're watching your shield health. So as you can see, my shield's getting a bit crappy right now, so I need to go repair it. And again, just a reminder, after you shield blast your bird, make sure you progress around. We cannot look for the next bird until the end of this round. I will go ahead and look for the bird once I have a zombie saved, just so I can show you the path that you have to run to check for the second bird spawn. In the meantime, I also recommend starting to get your other perks in the map while you're waiting. So as you can see, I just progressed the round. So I'm going to go ahead and save a zombie, and once I have 1 zombie left, I'm going to show you a path that checks all the spots. and is decently efficient in my opinion. If you see a dog you need shield charges, go ahead and kill the dogs for a shield charge because they die fairly easily. Do be careful with the Magmagat though, because you can end up killing more zombies than you desire to, and that could end the round, which we do not want. Alright, so I just fast traveled from the cafeteria, and I'm going to show you all the different spots you can check for the bird. So I'm just going to start this path from the very first spawn room. It can spawn over here on some machines, right there. If it's not there, you can run out here to your left on this truck. It can spawn on the truck. It can spawn on this truck right here that's in between the catwalk, so this truck in the middle. If it's not there, it can spawn on the pipes that are above the perk machine right there. So again, just look up on those pipes. Okay. If it's not there, you can go into the first power switch room right here on the right where the box is in that corner. It can spawn up there on those pipes, so be sure to check those pipes. If it's not there, you can go ahead and go into new industries, and right over here on this area on these pipes, like right here, that right there is the next spot. If it's not right there, you can go on the catwalk, and above a post, like just a little bit after entering, I think, like right, it's one of these two. Right up there it can be. If it's not there, it can be above the intersection right there of the catwalk. If it's not there, it can be on the other side of that intersection. It can be on the wooden post to the right of the box location after exiting outside. After exiting outside the catwalk. So before walking up the stairs to the prison, it can be on the right on one of these little beams, these little metal beams.
Didn't I just blast you? I forget.
It can be on the railing above you after entering the prison door, so like up here on the railing, well, on this railing right here. If it's not there, it can be here in the D block, up there, kind of above the railing right there in that area to the left. It can be in that one spot I showed you for the library, right there on the bookshelves. It can be where the monkey bomb Easter egg is. You can go up the stairs, and it can be above the dog head that you did earlier. If it's not there, it can be where Electric Cherry originally was in the original mob. If it's not there, you can go ahead and run to the infirmary. It can be behind these metal bars right here, kind of on this like little cart right there. If it's not there, you can go in here to where the part is. It can be on that little bench to the right there, like opposite to where that part is. So that little bench right there. So if it's not there, you can go up the stairs to the roof. You can look up on that little ledge right there. If it's not there, you can go over to the far back left of the roof right here, and there's my bird in this game, so I'll go ahead and get the bird, but I will show you the rest of the parts, so do not fret. Sorry, the rest of the locations if your bird's not here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it with my shield blast. So that's the second bird done. There's 4 in total, but the 4th one's special. We have to do it a specific way. So if your bird is not to the far back left, you can go down to the cafeteria. Whoops, wrong area. Right here. Go down here and into the cafeteria. It's going to be through this big window right here on the left, right there on the table, or one of those tables. It can also be in the middle of the cafeteria on a table in the rubble. I think it's actually this one over here. It's one of these two. Like on this wooden table right here in the middle of the cafeteria. It can also be on top of this thing that we checked earlier. So it can be up there on the little railing above the cafeteria. If it's not there, you can head down to the showers. And your next spot can be on the drying machine next to the fast travel portal right there. If it's not there, you're going to make a left through the store. It can be on the sandbags that are right there. Or right there. I think it's one of those two. If it's not there, you can look right to the radiator. It can be on the radiator. If it's not on the radiator, you can come into this room. So opposite to the door that leads to the warden's office, it can be on the pipes like right there. If it's not there, so it can be behind and above the doorway after you enter the warden's office. If it's not there, it can be on top of that little green door right there on the left, kind of at the intersection between the two. If it's not there, it can be to the left of the fireplace in the warden's office, like that little fireplace. It can be right there. If you go outside to Eagle Plaza, it can be above this little wooden pallet right here up against these stairs. So if it's not on that wooden pallet, you can double back, and then it can be on this little platform out here above the warden's office. Might also want to check up there. If it's not there, you can run all the way here to the back of this room and check above that, on top of that little bed that's upside down, or yeah, like, you know, erect right there. So if it's not there, you can run back through the showers, and this time we're going to go to the spiral staircase at the Citadel. Excuse me. So while you're here at the spiral staircase, it can spawn on top of one of these bricks. Now I don't remember like these little bricks that kind of are around like the that connect kind of the circular thing. So like at the top of these. Now I think it's specifically this one that spawns on top of. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know which brick specifically it spawns on top of, but it's one of these bricks. It's also been reported that it can spawn on top of this power casing right here, so we put in the numbers. So if it's not on the number pads, you can come in here, and on the railing up there, it can be up there above the Spitfire wall by at this little intersection here. So if it's not there, you can come down here to where the second power switch is. It can be next to that one shield part on these stairs right here to your right. Another couple spots you can check too is this far left generator up against kind of the door that leads to the docks. It can be on top of this generator right here. You might also want to go in the actual second power switch room and check in this area too. So if it's not there, I just left out to the docks, you're going to want to go and check this spot up here. So you're going to go up these stairs, and you're going to want to check above where we can get our shield charge blast refills on this fence. I don't remember which side it's on. I think it's just right here on the fence, above that little red power box. And then the 42nd, I believe this is the 42nd and final spot you can check is just out here by where you got your spoon at. So I think it's on this left post right here. So that is all 42 locations, I believe 42 locations for the bird spot that has been reported. You can go ahead and run the route I showed you. It's decently efficient. I'm not saying it's the best route to check all of them. During round changes, you might also want to run the route in reverse if you can remember it. So you can start, like, you know, like let's say the round ends here. Before I even maybe move on, you know, like as soon as the round ends, maybe I want to go and check this spot over here, then maybe I want to run up there. So you can run it in reverse, and it does not hurt. You do not have to run back to spawn and check all of them at the same time. You know, you might be able to save some time if you can find the bird earlier. So that's just one of my tips and suggestions. But I will see you once the round progresses, we find our next bird, and we shield blast it. Shout out to the No Thumbs crew for finding this out too. If you progress the round and you stay by the docks and look out towards where you shield blasted the panel to get the spoon, shortly after the round progresses, you can see roughly where the bird shoots to. So again, I'm right here at the docks, so I just went ahead and did that. Okay, so I found the next bird. I'm going to go ahead and shield blast it. Okay, so now we just progressed to round 14. Now, there is something you need to know about the fourth time you're going to do this bird. So this bird actually has significantly less spots it can spawn on. So you might have noticed when I was editing this video that when I was putting down the names of each thing on the screen, I occasionally put in parentheses ZB. That's to tell you that you would need zombie blood, or you will. These are like going to. In other words, these are going to be the fourth spot for your bird. The bird can only spawn in one of those spots that had ZB marked on it. I am going to run through the course of those spots at the end of this round. Another thing that you want to make sure you do when you do this bird, so the fourth bird, is you want to make sure you have the Hell's Retriever. You will need to get it back, so I will also cut to me doing that as well. So I'm just going to get to the point where I save a zombie. In the meantime, keep an eye on your shield charges. Go ahead and feel free to like collect some in the meantime. It can be a little different during a round. During a round, so just be careful. It can be a little difficult, that's what I meant to say. So I'm now getting my Hell's Retriever back. Remember, you just have to use a fast travel portal between one of the two spots, either at the showers or at the warden's house. So I use the one at the showers to get it, but you can use either one. So basically, I'm just going to go back through my list starting at the 25th spot that I marked down. So to start checking for the fourth and the final one, there's a couple of things you need to know. Again, make sure you have the shield. But another thing you need for this is you don't need a shield blast. So when you find the bird, you're not going to shield blast it. So that's the first thing you need to know about the fourth bird. On top of not shield blasting it, you still do need the shield, and I'll explain when we get to that. But another thing you need to know about the fourth bird is that you do need the Hell's Retriever to actually progress this step and actually progress with the fourth bird. So make sure you have your Hell's Retriever. So, starting at the 25th spot, you're going to look at those spots again. Now, it's not going to be a bird. You'll actually hear the warden like laughing or crying. And it's also going to be a little spark. And this can take a few minutes to see, so when you check the spots this time around, you know, it's not as obvious as the other spots. So make sure you're using your ears and like standing around for a good like 6-7 seconds, maybe 5 seconds to look for that spark. So the first spot, just going through that listing, could be on top of the thing at the showers. I don't hear a warden laughing. So if it's not there, just going through the list again, you can check on the little bags. So I'm going to freeze these guys so they get out of my way. You can check right here. It might be these ones through this door too. I forgot which one it was. I think it's these ones actually. Okay, so there's nothing there. You can run over here and check on the radiator. Nothing there. Run into this room right here. Check up here on these pipes. And this is why it is so good to have Winter's Whale. Really helps with steps like these. So go ahead and check on these pipes. I think it's the far left. Okay, so it's not there. You can now go ahead and check the doorway behind the warden's office. Oh! And it looks like we got it. So there you go. Okay, so now you found it, but I'm going to quickly run through the spots again. If it's not there, you can check this one up here. If it's not there, you can check above the fireplace. If it's not there, you can check again above the wooden pallet. You can check on this railing right here. You can check above these cinder blocks down here at the Citadel tunnels. I forgot which ones in particular. So you're just going to want to check around here again, take a look at each, you know, kind of listen for that laugh/crying. You can check on the number panels. You're going to want to check up here on the railing. You can check on the stairs right there. You can check on the far left generator in here. And again, I'm just kind of quickly going through this to remind you of each spot. Now this is for the fourth bird thing. You can check in there supposedly. You can check out here on the little thing at the docks, the little wooden pole. And if it's not there, you can check up here on this fencing here. And again, that's just to remind you each spot that specifically the fourth bird thing can spawn in, the little spark. So, what you are going to do, and this is very specific, what you're going to do is you're going to go up here to the number pad after you found the spot. You're going to go ahead and pop that, and then you're going to enter in 872. Let me freeze these guys. So 872. After you enter in 872, go ahead and pop a temporal gift. A zombie blood's going to spawn. Pick it up. Go to where that spark is. Now remember, you're not going to shield blast it this time. You're not going to shield blast the bird. Keep that in mind. So mine was above the warden's office's door. Now this is what you have to do. So before you throw your tomahawk at it, because I've had this issue happening before, pull out your shield, look through the shield, and see the bird. Then after you see it, put the shield down, throw your tomahawk, and pick up the Kronorium that drops. If you do not look through your shield and you just go to where the spark is and throw your tomahawk at it, I've had issues with that before where I did not get the book. So that is an important reminder, just so when you go ahead and go to get the book from the fourth bird, make sure you pull out your shield, don't shield blast it, look through the shield, put the shield down while you're in the zombie blood, tomahawk it, then pick up the shield. In that order specifically. And I want to emphasize that that's very, very important in order to help do that step without issues cropping up. So after you've gotten the Kronorium from the bird, you're going to want to head back to that secret room at the warden's house, and you're going to want to put the book down at the guy sitting in the chair. So that should despawn the zombies when you see that white flash. So this is post-editing David coming in. I just want to give one quick piece of advice. After you put the book down, before you even begin doing any of this, because this is the point in the game where we're going to have to do the 5 challenges, and then after the 5 challenges comes the final boss, and then the end of the Easter egg. I have a huge tip right now. Whatever you do, and this is what I highly recommend, you might want to go and train for a few rounds. You know, even if you have to start doing this stuff at round like 17 or whatever, because I highly recommend you have all your perks, the upgraded shield, and the upgraded Magmagat. Now, in this game, I did do a couple of the challenges without the upgraded Magmagat because it's not super necessary. So I'll probably put something up on the screen, like just some quick notes about a couple of challenges if you want to note them down now or just have them noted for later. But I highly recommend you take a few rounds and make sure you have all your perks, make sure you have the upgraded shield, and make sure you have the upgraded Magmagat before you start doing these challenges. Again, just a huge recommendation on my part. I don't think I went over that in the video too well, so I just wanted to add that in post-editing. So you're going to go ahead and square the book when it's flipping those pages around like crazy. You're going to pull out your shield, and now you're going to have more numbers you're going to have to memorize. So 863. So now, just as you guessed, we had 863, and you can note that down, or you can just memorize it. In this case, I'm just going to memorize it. It's only 3 numbers. 863. You're going to run down back to the number pad and punch those in. So make sure you have a shield blast for it, and I will cut to you when I do that. So I just shield blast the pad. I'm going to do 8, 6, 3, and you should again get a confirmation quote. So I'm going to explain what you have to do next. So when you do this, after you get the book from the bird and you put the book down in the warden's office, what is happening is there's going to be a challenge that is going to spawn around the map. Now, as you can see, the lighthouse will always shine at to where that challenge is at. So there's going to be, I believe it's 5 challenges in total. So in my game, I'm going to go ahead and try to get the upgraded shield real quick, hopefully before it breaks from these zombies, and hopefully before it passes the round, because the game does like to switch the round out on you. So again, I just returned to the cafeteria so I can train some zombies around for a little bit. It also doesn't hurt to, again, start building points and trying to get all your perks by now. I'm just trying to show you how to get everything done as early as possible, but on this map, it does not hurt to try and get, you know, it doesn't hurt to pass a round or two to get like some points and stuff and some perks. I'm just again trying to show you the absolute earliest you can get everything done, but you may want to actually also pass a round or two to like start building points and whatnot and getting your perks. Now ideally what hopefully happens in your game is you don't make the fail I made earlier where I did not get my upgrade shield when the box first moved. That costed me quite a bit of time because now I have to hit the box a bunch of times again until I get the locket. Again, just a reminder, you're going to want to make sure you're getting in the habit of saving a couple zombies at the end of every round. Around this time, it also doesn't hurt to go ahead and try to get your upgraded Magmagat. So I'm also checking for a power box, because if I get the upgraded shield, I want to get my free charges if possible. So I'm just checking all the spots I showed you before in my map guide.
Maybe I should start drinking.
Alright, so I went ahead and got my shield. So now that the shield's upgraded, it can contain 4 shield blasts in total. So I'm going to go all the way up here, see if this box is the one that has the free charges. It looks like it is not. So I'm going to check the one in New Industries. Yep, and there we go. So I have my shield out, so now I got my full 4 shield charges. Alright, so I think it's important I show you where each possible challenge can spawn at on the map. So my first one spawned at the docks. And also, you'll know if your challenge spawned there if the lighthouse is pointing at it and it's a little red in the area. So I'm going to show you where each portal can spawn for each challenge you're going to have to do. The power switch challenge is going to spawn right here, and again, you'll only see it if you look through your shield, so if you're having trouble seeing it, you might want to look through your shield first. The New Industry challenge spawns right over here in the middle of New Industries. Your Warden's Office challenge spawns right over here. Your Showers challenge is going to spawn right here next to the max wall behind the showers, and you'll see these if it's your challenge. So again, your challenge is going to be random every game, so you'll have to go to one of these locations. You can also use the kind of lighthouse to try to triangulate where it's at, just like I showed you with the bird step. So anyways, I'm going to run and show you where mine's at. Well, you know where the final one's at least you should, because I already showed you, but the final possible challenge location that can spawn is right here at the docks. And that, in this case, that's where my challenge spawned. I don't know if it moved or not. Okay, I think it moved because the round progressed. So if you ever lose a challenge or the challenge just disappears out of your challenge book, you're just going to have to return back to the Warden's house and flip the book. I think you can only flip for a challenge once every round. So again, it's really important you try to get this Easter egg done as early as possible. I've been kind of taking like some extra, like I've been kind of flubbing up a little bit of areas in here, both to my own fault, but also because I'm trying to do this video and explain to you how to do everything. So in a normal game, I would just know all this stuff and I would just go ahead and go straight to doing it. But I'm showing you everything you need to know, so that way you can just start playing the same way I'm playing, basically, and just going to everything you need to do and just doing it. So, again, it looks like I lost my docks challenge because the round progressed. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the book again, and I'm going to flip the pages and get a new challenge going. And this is how, once you complete each challenge or fail each challenge, this is how it works again. You just progress the round, go back here, flip the book, use the shield. So now I got 659. I'm going to go punch that into the numbers box.
Okay, that works. Now what?
Okay, so I punched in my numbers, so I'm going to go check the docks real quick because it's the one that's closest to the pad. Let's see if I got the docks again. So again, it can be any one of these 5 challenges. So it looks like that is not the one. Do we see where the lighthouse is? Do we see where the lighthouse is shining? So it's not down there. So it could be at one of the other 2 challenges I showed you. And again, I'm going to show you how to do each challenge too as I do them. So to start the challenge, again, you have to flip the pages in the book. Just to reiterate, I know I'm repeating myself. You flip the pages in the book, punch the numbers in, you go to the little orb that's lit up on the map, and then you shield blast that. So in this case, I'm going to go check the showers. If it's not in the showers, we can check in front of the Warden's office. If it's not there, we can check at New Industries. Okay, so it's not there. And if it's not New Industries, we can check at the first power station. So again, I already showed you where each was at in the guide, so I'm just going to go check these locations myself. In front of the Warden's office, nope, so it's not there. So it looks like it's either going to be at New Industries or it's going to be at the power station. Now is also a great time to work on getting your pack-punched Magmagat. Mine is still not pack-punched yet. You do not necessarily need it packed for all the steps, but it doesn't hurt. So let's see, do we got the power station? No? Alright, great. Looks like we got New Industries first. So New Industries is actually not too hard of a challenge, although I did not save a zombie, so this might be a little harder than usual. Normally what we would do is we would keep a zombie for this step. So that's again why I usually say to always try to keep a zombie. So you can go ahead and shield blast this little orb right here, and that will make it stay in place. Now, we do not have to start this challenge right away. I'm actually going to save 2 zombies to make this challenge a little bit easier for myself if I can. So again, make sure you shoot those orbs right away to begin the challenge. It seems like the challenges stay active for the whole round, so you can progress rounds and still have the challenge ready just to be done whenever. A couple challenges that will start lockdowns, but again, you're going to want to be shooting these orbs immediately anyways, probably. So again, for the New Industries, before you even attempt it, I recommend you try to get 4 full shield blasts. The shield is essential, and again, you're going to also want to make sure you have a full shield for this step too, because if you don't, this New Industries challenge is going to be quite difficult. Another really important thing about this New Industries challenge is make sure you have 2 zombies left at the end of the round. So I'm going to go ahead and kill my zombies until I have 2 left at the end of the round, and I'll get back to you then. So just so you know, technically you don't need to have 2 zombies at the end of the round for this challenge, but I'm just going to tell you right now, if you do happen to save a couple, it is going to make this challenge light years easier, and I'm not kidding when I say that. So I have not heard anyone else talk about this strategy for this challenge. I think I've not seen it anywhere else on YouTube. In order to make the New Industries challenge easier, we are going to be making use of Winter's Whale. So keep in mind that when you do a shield blast, it does have an AoE effect, so you can actually kill zombies with the shield blast on this map. So make sure that you do get a bit of distance between the zombie after you kill it, and then freeze it in place before you shield blast the ghost. But I'm going to show you what you have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and repair my shield, and then I will meet you at the library/D block. And I recommend you do the same. Make sure you have 4 full shield blasts for this. You very well might need them. Okay, so I've repaired my shield. I'm now here at the library. So you're going to kill a dog or a regular zombie here at the library. And then what's going to do is a ghost is going to spawn in. So I'm going to go ahead and kill it. And now you'll see if I look through my shield, a ghost spawned in. You're going to want to move this ghost, like this zombie that's behind me, away from the ghost. You're going to want to look through your shield and go ahead and shield blast it. Okay, it's going back. I don't know what it's doing. I'm guessing it's not ready to go until I actually shield blast. Okay, now it's going that way. So I shield blasted it. So now I'm going to start sucking with my shield. Now if you remember, that zombie is behind me. So if it just keeps hitting me with my Winter's Wail, I can just suck this zombie right here, and no zombies will spawn into the map. So I have this whole time to do this. Now the only thing you have to worry about is be careful not to one, kill the zombie with the suck, and also don't kill it with the AoE shield blast effect it does. So go ahead. So I think the zombie's gonna be behind me. Just keep an eye on this guy. So I'm gonna freeze him again. And this just makes this step so much easier. And I'm shocked that no one ever went into detail about how you can save a zombie for this step. Usually a lot of people do this step mid-round, and it just makes it a nightmare. But as you can see, and then I'm going to hit him again. And I should be able to get him. I think all you need in solo is 4 full shield charges. And there you go. So now when he starts moving like this and he's completely reddened and he stays in the living world and you can't suck him with your shield anymore, all you're going to do is you can either follow him if you want, but what I recommend you do is just go straight back to the new industries building. So when he's in this reddened state where he's permanently in the living world, he's always going to take this path. He's always going to go through the recreation yard, through the catwalk, and then he's going to make a left and go down to the new industries building. Once he gets to the bottom of that new industries building, we need to activate the trap. The trap is going to kill that zombie, and then after that he's going to drop an orb that we can pick up. So I'm going to cut to when he gets close to the new industries building, and then I will show you killing him with the trap. But do keep in mind, again, this does take 4 full shield charges to completely suck him to where he's in this permanent red state. So just bear that in mind while you're doing this, because if you don't, what can happen is you can make the mistake of doing this mid-round, and in my opinion, it's a really bad idea. So come in here in the middle of new industries, go up to one of these switches, wait for him to get close, and then just go ahead when you see him coming through, just go ahead and pop it. The trap will actually hit him and he will drop his orb. Now this will end the round because the zombie's likely to hit it. But again, that's just how you do this new industry step very, very easily. Just remember that you can save a zombie, 2 zombies at the end of this round, and that's what I even mentioned in my last guide for this map, of getting in the habit of saving 2 zombies for rounds. It's for this step in particular. It just makes doing this step so much easier, because if you do not save a zombie and you do this mid-round, you kill the last zombie while you're there, this whole process is going to get much, much harder. So you do need more shield blasts now. You do need to refill your shield blasts. Remember, you can always check your things. Let's see. I might have some good luck here. Did I get this one? Nope. Because remember, every round we have a free full recharge on our shield blasts. So we can save time if we get one of those. So I checked that spot there. So now you're going to work on getting the next challenge done. But in the meantime, you're just going to go ahead and focus on doing this. Getting those shield blasts up. Again, if dogs spawn in, go ahead and be sure to suck them up because they are free shield charges. They're very easy to get. You do have to be careful because we are on round 19 now, so the pace of this game is picking up, so you're going to probably want to start getting hordes of zombies before you suck them. And again, just another reminder, even though I've said this a million times already, I have to reiterate how important it is. Make sure you're repairing your shield throughout the game. That is so, so important. It is so vital you repair the shield throughout the game. This is basically the key to the Easter egg right here. And the nice thing about waiting with the pack punch on this map is that every time you hit that generator to start it at like the little power like generator at the top of the roof. Every time you hit it the first time, the pack's always there. So when you wait to hit the pack punch, you're guaranteed to have it there. If I were to have enabled pack punch much earlier on in my game, now what might have happened is I might have ended up having it move around a lot, and I might have to go look around the map for it. But because I never hit it, I know exactly where it's at, or where it's going to be at once I go to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and get pack enabled, and I'm also going to go and zap our next things for our next challenges. And I will recommend, again, upgrade your Magmagat. It's really, really important to have upgraded. It's kind of like your key to like most steps on this Easter egg, and just your general survival. So always think of keeping your Magmagat upgraded. So again, this is the end of the round, so I'm just going to return to the Warden's office and start my next challenge. Now, again, you can actually do all these in between rounds if you want to, or at least start the challenges and get them like shocked into the map if you want to save time. It's just, even just going to this book to get these numbers, if there's not a zombie left, it can be really dangerous. You got to be quick. So let's see, we got 883. It also does not hurt to check for your electric thingies in the midst of doing all this. Just make sure you don't forget your numbers for the pad. So we got that right, because there's a quote and they flashed. So let's go check the docks. Is not there, is not at the docks. So where are we going to check next? Well, we can go check the showers in the Warden's office. Those are pretty close by. Alright, so we got the showers, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it. Do know this will start a lockdown, so do not blast this orb unless you are ready. So what's going to happen is a ghost is going to spawn in who's going to give you his banjo. You will have to pick up his banjo and go into circles around the showers to fill it. So yes, please give us his banjo. Now, one extremely important tip. So you're just going to stand in these blue circles after you pick up the banjo. So he'll hold out his hands and give it to you after a minute. One extremely important tip about doing this challenge that I have to let you know about is make sure after a certain amount of time you will start taking damage, like tick damage in the game. So you'll never be able to fill all the circles without like possibly taking this damage. Once you start taking damage without getting hit by any zombies or anything, you have to run and take the banjo and give it over back to the ghost, and then pick it back up and continue refilling the circles afterwards. Again, you have a specialist here. You have hopefully you have the upgraded Magmagat by now. If not, I think the regular one should be good, but you really by now you want to have that upgraded Magmagat. So again, I'm just going to camp here. I'm going to watch my shield. So now I'm taking damage. See? So when you start taking damage, you have to go run up and give it to him. Make sure you do that. He will give it back to you, and then you can go and run and do more circles. So I think we might be done. Is there another circle in here? I don't see one. So when the circles are gone, just go and try to give him the banjo again. And now it's pretty much just survive, I believe. So there you go. He left. And pick up the orb. And again, at the end of every single one of these challenges, they are going to drop an orb for you to pick up. So just be wary of that. Now I need more shield charges. We can quickly go and look for another box around the map and see if we can get them. I'm also probably going to go repair my shield again, so I will cut to doing that. Again, remember to permanently get the challenge started on the map, we do need the 2 blasts from the shield. So I'm going to be looking around for the shield box. Alright, there we go. I found it. Sweet. Nice. So I did have to look around at quite a few shield boxes. Again, if you watched my map guide, you would know like a pretty decent path to go between all of them. Now what I'm going to do again is I'm just going to return to the Warden's house, and we will do our 3rd out of our 5 challenges. And again, just to repeat myself, these challenges are random every game. There's 5 challenges, and you will get random numbers to punch into the box. You will get random, like the spawn, whichever one it will be random. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the pages of the book. Now I got 2, 3, 1. So again, you guys know the drill. I'm going to cut to me entering that in, and I'm also going to cut to me getting to that portal. Okay, so again, same drill. I'm going to check the docks. So I checked the docks. It wasn't there. So it's either going to be the one that is at the Warden's office, or it is going to be the one that is at the power switch. Now I will say this. People consider the one at the first power switch often to be the hardest challenge of them all, Now I will have a couple of things I'll show you that I made in my guide, and I'll show you what you can do to make that challenge a little bit easier. I'm going to check in front of the Warden's office. Yep, it's right here in front of the Warden's office. Do note that the lighthouse can't shine through here. So this will actually be a lockdown. So what you can do is you can go ahead and hit that one. Now the lockdown doesn't start immediately after you hit it. So I don't have a whole lot of ammo in my Blundergat, but I might go ahead and start this challenge anyways. In order to start this challenge, you're going to come to the cafeteria. Make sure you have a shield blast. Go ahead and kill the zombie in the cafeteria. Again, one will spawn in after you kill it. Shield blast him. Now your goal is to guide him through the prison. So a special lockdown is going to start. Watch out as the first batch is going to come right through that door right there. Now they're going to try to kill him, these zombies. They're going to try to hurt this ghost. So again, your goal is to protect this ghost from the zombies around the map. The next batch is going to come right there. So again, if you strategically make use of your of your Magmagat, that'll definitely help a lot with this step. So just keep an eye on its back, but also its front. Oh, that was a bad shot. Go ahead, and a bunch are going to come through this door right here. So again, just make use of your Magmagat. You're just kind of going through these hordes of zombies. I need that. There's a lot of zombies that spawn in on the step, so just watch out. About right here, you're going to have a Warden spawn in, so just bear that in mind. So around here, when you get to this middle bit, go ahead and spew out your Magmagat some more, spam it and all that. Just keep an eye on this guy. You're going to want to go ahead and pop your specialist, and go ahead and try to deal with the rest of the zombies here. I think the shield, like the whatchamacallit, the dash, yeah, that's what's called, the dash. The dash works really well against the zombies. One tip, do be careful, you can damage the ghost yourself too. And then once he gets escorted to the portal, he drops down, and you can pick it up. So again, just a reminder for that step, make sure that make sure you have your specialist, and just remember that you can also damage the guy too if you hit him with your specialist, with your bullets or whatever. So you're just going to want to be careful. So I don't know about you, but I kind of get tired of sucking zombies all day. So I'm going to probably start again trying to just see if I can get lucky and get those shield charges. It never hurts to check to see if you get those free shield charges at the start of a new round, just because it, otherwise you're going to have to stand around, suck a bunch of zombies, and it sucks. It's not the funnest thing to do in the world. Be careful where you take yourself too, because this is kind of a bad spot. Also, doesn't hurt to upgrade some of your other weapons if you have them. Just any rifle should do. Just any like SMG or like good assault rifle should help you out. Trying to make sure that we save one. This is an excruciatingly long process. You're going to want to try to keep your crosshair on the zombies the whole time while you're doing this, and it can be a little dangerous, so just be careful. Although they will take damage and eventually die anyways, so even if you're making progress and then it gets cut off, that's okay too. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Warden's office, and I will get back to you once we do our routine again. Flip the book. Pull out our shield, look through it. Was that 479? Yep, 479. Alright, so our numbers are 479. Alright, so there's only 2 spots left for our challenge, so it can be the docks or it can be the power switch. So let's go check the docks real quick. And it looks like we got the docks. Alright, so for the docks one, you're going to just go ahead and shield blast it right away. No need to worry about any lockdowns or anything. So this is the dreaded Morse code step of this Easter egg, although a lot of people like to say this is the hardest part of the Easter egg. I actually digress, and I actually think the hardest part is the power switch challenge. I think that's actually the hardest of our 5 challenges. And another thing, just so you know, once you do your 5 challenges, that's basically when we progress on to the boss fight. There's a little bit of like storytelling and stuff that goes on between them, but after you get the 5 challenges done, I mean, you're pretty much set. So anyways, go ahead, and to do the docks challenge, you're going to go ahead and go to the Warden's office. I got a little distracted there because I was explaining this challenge. Again, I'm not that great at multitasking. What you're going to do is you're going to go into where you grabbed the Acid part at the Warden's office, and there's going to be this little thing on the table. Now, what you need to do is you need to hold your use button, so that's square or F or like X depending on the console on. You can hold it for about a second or a brief second to do a dot, and you can also hold it for like 2 to 3, say about 3 seconds to do a dash. So you don't need to know Morse code to do this step, because to this day I believe it's still the most famous way to do this step is to brute force it, even though there is an official way to figure out what you have to do. That takes a lot of time, and I want to save us as much time as possible when doing this Easter egg and just kind of show you the progression of how it goes and everything. There's a way you can actually guess this step to make it easier. So in order to do this Morse code step, what you're going to do is when you use this thing again for 1 second, it's a dot. If you hold it for 3, it counts as a dash. Whenever you hear a laugh, like the Warden laugh, that is a sign that you did it wrong. So that's a sign that your input was wrong. Now you have to be careful and know, like when you just briefly hold square, even if it's just a little bit, like it goes, did, that's a dot. But you do have to hold it down for about 3-ish seconds to get a dash. So do be aware of that. So, and another thing is, hello again, this is post-editing David coming in. I'm going to interrupt myself before I ramble on another word out of my mouth and let you know how to do this in a more simplified way. So I ended up going on a bit of a tangent and kind of making this a little bit too complicated. Basically, all you're going to do is just realize that when you're trying to guess this, a better way to guess this is to do repeated, like, dots and dashes. So if you say, let's say you guess a dot to start out with, right? If you get a dot and you don't get the laugh, so that means you get a right input, go ahead and do another dot and keep doing single dots until you get the laugh and you have to go over to a dash. Theoretically, if you then went over to the dash, do another dash and then another dash until you get the laugh. It seems that the dots and the dashes tend to repeat more than they do switch. That's all I was trying to explain, but I ended up making it very complicated, so I just wanted to pop in here and hopefully explain it in a little bit of an easier way. You might want to save a zombie for this. If you get hit, just, again, turn around if you have Winter's Wail, let that zombie freeze. If you have the level 3 specialist katana, you can pull it out, press L1 and R2 to get more time. You can even spawn another zombie blood in if you want. As a matter of fact, if you want to go and hit the power switches at the bottom of the spiral staircase, enter an 872, pop another temporal gift. You can even get a zombie blood to buy yourself time for this step. Now I'm going to try it without that, and we'll just see how well that goes. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I'm going to try. Just, the most minimalistic, efficient approach that you can get. Now you might want to have a notepad open. What I do is I do S and L, so S is like short, L is long. So I'm going to hit it once. Okay, that was a laugh. So I got a dash, right? The Warden does laugh twice before, so the Warden laughs twice when you get one answer wrong, but you can immediately just go ahead and start entering in your right answer anyway. That's another thing you can do to save time for this and make it go like a little faster. So again, just to reiterate, you get more sequences of similar numbers than you do of changes. So I got a long and a long, so long, long. Now we can try long again. Okay, so now we got a short. So now we can do S. So long. Alright, and there we go. So after you finish the Morse code, and you'll know you get it right when your character gets a quote and you can't interact with it anymore, you're going to go to the infirmary. In this room where this little table is at, you're just going to basically kill the zombie in here. And it's okay to end the round here because we're going to need more zombies anyways to make any progress. So go ahead and kill him in here. And just as before, if you've been following along, almost all the steps start like this. Shield blast him. This is important. Go up and hold square on him. And like you might have to square him a bunch. If you don't square him, he might not follow you. And that's like a very vital part of this step. So wait for some zombies to spawn in. I'm going to pop in Arsenal Accelerator just to get my specialist faster. Now we gotta fight our way out of here. So what you're gonna do is I might need to get my specialist for this. These guys are not letting me leave. There we go. You're gonna want to basically go out here, and it's just an escort mission again. Now on this one, I don't think the ghost can take damage. You will need to kill zombies to get him to follow you. So I'm gonna go ahead and run over here. Just keep an eye on him. So I just used the special. So again, for the Brutus, it seems as though that the charge attack does a really good job at making him go towards you. Or sorry, killing Brutus. So if you want to jump in the air and start hitting that thing, you can go and do that. So now again, I'm just waiting for this guy to get over here. Still have my Arsenal Accelerator popped. There we go. I think I got out of there just in time. You might even be able to just run straight to the gondola, but you do want to be careful because the ghost, you know, the gondola is kind of a dangerous area. And again, I should have probably mentioned this before I started this step, but make sure that you have the gondola, like, you know, primed and prepped beforehand. Okay, is he still following me? Okay, come on, buddy. And again, just be careful out here, because it does get a little bit frisky in this area. You're just going to basically take the ghost to this little orb right here. I have to kind of crouch, otherwise I can't see. It's just another escort mission. This one's a little... You have to manually escort him more. So then he gets here and he just poofs, and then there you go. There's your next orb. Can you guess what happens next? We have one challenge left. Now again, I'm going to immediately go look for my free shield charges right away, because if I can get them, it will save a hell of a lot of time. And also we can immediately progress to this next step on 22. And like I said, you do want to get these challenges done as soon as possible in the game. Just because, you know, higher rounds, zombies get stronger, makes everything much harder. Alright, so I just got my full key charges. Again, I was just using the path I showed you in my map guide. I was able to quickly check all them. So now, guess what we have to do next? As you know, I think you know how this goes now. So this is the 5th and final challenge. I know this one, so 741. So I know this challenge is going to be at the power switch just because process of elimination. We already did the other 4.
Looks good. I am tired.
So I'm just going to go ahead and go and get that last portal, which is, again, as I showed you way earlier on, the last possible one can be in the first power switch area. So right here at the very door, entrance to the door, I'm going to zap it. Now, what you have to do is return to the docks. So you're going to go to where the second power switch is. I will meet you there and show you how we do the next challenge. Alright, so once you make your way to the second power kind of generator room area, you are going to do this challenge. You're going to start it by playing a game of kind of like Simon Says of sorts. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to have to, 6 of the generators in this room are going to flash, and you need to go up and square them in the order that they flash. Now, my biggest piece of advice for this challenge is memorize in your head each generator and number it. And this is going to, I have a little thing I'm going to show you later that's going to make this step so much better and like make this step much easier. At least it should. So what you're going to do is start, if you want to get good at doing this egg, remember that this one right here is generator 1. Let me freeze this guy so I can show you. So this right here on the far right of this left side of the room is 1. This one right here is 2, just to the left of this little red box. Straight across from 2 on the far left side of the room is 3. This one right here is number 4 on the right on the other side here. This one to the left of it is 5. And this one to the left of the one on the far right, this one right here is 6. This is very vital. If you can remember that these generators go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is going to make doing this step for you light years easier. So again, if you have to have a notepad open and just write down the numbers of which one lit up, you can. It might start spawning some zombies in on you midway through this challenge, so just be aware if that happens to be careful. So I'm going to go ahead and start this challenge now. To start it, you just go in the far back right of the room and interact with the smoking generator. Alright, so 1. We have 1. So now I'm going to have to go in square 1. Again, you can put that in your notes, but it's absolutely not necessary. And you can also pause here too. So square. So I squared 1. Okay, so it looks like 3. So we have 3 and 1. 3 and 1. Okay, so 3 and 1 lit up. Now I have to go hit 3 and 1. And it does this a few times. So I think it does it until you get, like, was it 5 or 4 in total? I don't know. I'll figure it out and show you. So we have 3. And then we have to go hit 1. Might have to practice this to get them down. Okay, so we have 6. And again, if you want to pause to even note this, just to make this a little easier for you. 6 and that is 4, I believe. Yep, so 6 and 4. And then there's going to be another one, 6, 4, 3. So now we have 6, 4, 3. And that's just, again, that's to help you out. So we got to do 6. And then we got to do number 4. And then number 3. Now we have 1. So again, on my notes, I'm just going to put down 1. Then we have 2. And these generators can repeat, so watch out. Then we have 3. And then we have 6. So on my notes I have 1, 2, 3, 6. So I have to do them in that order. So 1, 2, 3, and then 6. Now, when you finish this challenge, just be warned, all the lights are going to come back on and 3 generators are going to light up. Well, hang on. I'll show you that when I get to that. So let's see. Okay, so we got 1. And you have to be a little careful here, too, because you can miss these generators if you're not careful. Okay, so we got 1 again. So we got 1, 1. We got 6. And then we got 1. And then we got 1. Alright, so 1, 1, 6, 1, 1. So each time you progress the generator, again, it's going to add 1 additional light to it. Now, there's one thing I want to let you know. After you do 5 full lights in total, so it goes, you do 1, then another, then a third, fourth, and then you do a 5th, so the lights are going to come back on in the room, and 3 generators are going to light up with their white light. You need to note down those generators. It doesn't matter in what order, but you just need to note down those generators as soon as the lights come on. That is so important and is mandatory if you want to do this step right. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now, what's really shitty is the zombie I was keeping just died. So I have to be quick on my feet here. So 1, 1, 6, 1, 1. Okay, so 1 is 1, so I see a 1, I think I see a 2, and you have to be quick here. 4, 1, 2, 4, and you have to be quick. Okay, when you are doing this step and you have those 3 lap generators, you have to be quick. Cause watch how short it is, the amount of time you have to actually get these things. So look, they're lit up, they're still lit up, and look at that, they're already gone. They're already gone. It only took like 5 seconds I had to actually get those. Okay, so after your lights have went out, go ahead and grab the punch card that's in this generator room. So it is on the side of one of these pillars. I might actually take a hit here. So it's right here on that table. I'm doing this mid-round. Sorry, it's really fast-paced, but I will show you again in a minute. And while you're here, or just anywhere, I mean, I need to get out of this area because this is really dangerous, but you do need to start recharging your shield again. So you do need to get all your shield blasts back once more. At least until you get 3 in total, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and take this gondola to get out of here. Just so you know, you need to make your way back to spawn. So after you get your punch card, go ahead and just make your way back to spawn. Make sure that you have your notes, like your numbers for the generators that lit up, note down, and make sure that you grab the punch card before you left the docks. Otherwise, you will probably be a little bit upset, because you'll have to go back there and grab it before you can continue on. So you're back here at spawn, and you can just wait to save a zombie to do this if you'd like. So go ahead and start charging up your shield. So with your punch card, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the spawn room. Let me just make sure there's no zombies left. Okay, there's only a few here. You're going to go back to the top of spawn, and you are going to go up to this little computer right here, and you're going to put the punch card in. Now, you do not need to rush for this. If you look at the little sheet I gave you, and I put this up on the video if you want to save it. Now, this wasn't my sheet, but I moved it around a little bit to make it more accessible because it was kind of out of order with how I'm showing you how to do this. So I will put credit in the video once I'm editing it. But basically, this sheet that I sent you, you are going to look at your notes of those things, those 3 generators that lit up at the very end of our challenge, And you are just, and again, these numbers match the generators that I had us light up at the end of that challenge. So if you look at the numbers that we have, well, in my game I had 1, 2, 4. So now if you look at my sheet, those symbols on the left that match 1, 2, 4, I need to go and then match those, and then I need to write down what I have in terms of the symbols on the right. So again, I have 1. So I'm going to go back into this room, and I'll have the little sheet displayed on my screen just so you can see. God, these fucking zombies are a nightmare. Okay, so 1 is, and you gotta be careful because these symbols look very similar to each other. So just be careful doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. So I got F. Okay, so I got symbol F. So in my notes, I'm gonna put down F. Now what else do I have? I have 1, 2, 4. So I am going to go ahead and do the 2. So 2 is that, and you're just gonna look at these computers around the room. It looks like that's my 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. So now I got D, and then I have a 4, so a 4 is that. So let's see, it's not that one. Alright, so it looks like that's my 4. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. And then I got, let me see what symbol that is. I got the A. So I got FDA, wow, Food and Drug Administration. So after you get your 3 letters from the top of spawn, you are going to need 3 shield blasts in total. You're going to go all the way back down here. And from left to right here, if you look through your shield, there's going to be a ghost moving between these levers. There's those symbols that we got down from spawn. You might have to give it a minute for them to load in. They are going to be on these switches. Now, I want to give you a little tip. That A, B, C, D, that also works here too. So if you go A will be the first one here, B will be here, C will be here, and so on. So if I look at A, because again in my notes I have to do A, and this is in no particular order, I have to hit that switch. So how do you hit the switch? You have to shoot that zombie with the charged shield shot when he's at said switch. So I'm going to go ahead and freeze these guys again, see where he's at. So I need F, D, and A. So he's at A, B, C. Okay, so now he's at B. So now I'm going to wait for him to go to D. And I'm going to go ahead and blast him. You can do it when he's at the switch or when he's moving towards the switch. It does not matter. So there we go. He should turn the lever down. So A's done. So now he needs to do this one right over here. So he does move a little bit fast between those switches. So I'm going to use Winner's Wail again. Winner's Wail coming in clutch. Am I right? So you got to be careful here. So he's going to D is over here. And if you look at the notes too, you can see that. So now I hit him at D. He's going to turn that switch down, or at least he should. So now we just need to get F. So that's the very last one that's on our list and on our notes. So I need to be quick here on my feet. And come on, move over to the switch. And there we go. So that should be F. That's the very last switch here. So again, remember they're lettered too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just A, B, C, D, E, F. And there we go. You know you did it right when he disappears and you get your orb. That is how you make that step much easier. Again, if you want to save a zombie through it, go ahead. So after you have acquired all 5 of your orbs from these challenges, and technically 6, including the one that you got when you first went in the room, the Warden's secret room, but the ones from the 5 challenges, you're going to go back to spawn, and then you're going to go ahead and place all those orbs on that board that you put the other one earlier. You might have to look around a little bit to get the right square spot. There you go. I think it's like right there on that one. Now, after you've done that, what you're going to do is this is going to be boss prep time. So if you have to get any more guns upgraded, if you want to spin the box for maybe an LMG like the Hades, or if you want to buy the Titan at the Warden's office, you can do that, although I'm not the biggest fan of the Titan. Basically, this is your boss prep time. Another thing you probably want to do is go into this boss fight with some shield charges. It does not hurt. Are they super mandatory? I don't think so, because you'll get more charges while you're there. I mean, you can get charges anywhere at any time. But if you want to go ahead and look for some more, like things, if you want to try to get 4 shield charges before you do this next thing, you can go ahead and do that. It's up to you. So I'm just going to go around and look. I'm pretty comfortable with my loadout right now. I just want to get some more shield charges, so I'm going to go ahead and check all the shield boxes real quick. And as you can see throughout this guide, Winter's Wail it is the best. I just want to mention this really quickly. Again, that is why I love Winter's Wail so much for doing this Easter egg. There is so much stuff you just have to kind of take your time with. And having Winter's Wail with you, it just makes doing some of these steps so much easier. Okay, so there we go. I just got my shield charges. It also doesn't hurt to make sure you have a little bit of Magmagat ammo before you go into the boss fight. I think you will get a max ammo. You will get some max ammos during it, but it does not hurt to just kind of prematurely kind of make sure you have that. So I think I should be pretty good with my current loadout. I got a multi-pack, like, you know, Tiger Shark, and I also have everything else set up pretty well. So whenever you're ready to go to the final boss, just after you put those dots down back at spawn, go back to up here to where this book is, and then just hold square on it. And all you're going to do is just stand, and if you're in co-op, you'll have to have all the players stand here. All you're going to do is you're going to have you or your team stand here until a cutscene plays. I'm actually going to get a max ammo real quick because I just realized it's a dog round. Alright, so I just got my max ammo, and again, I'm just going to stand here, and there we go. Cutscene will now play, and we can continue on with the game. So I will go ahead and let you enjoy the cinematics. I will probably cut to when the gameplay resumes, though. Again, if you want to see this gameplay for yourself, you can, or this cutscenes for yourself, you can, but I don't want to make this guide's probably already going to be pretty long as it is. So I'm going to cut through the cinematic stuff and get back to you once the gameplay resumes. So after being in the cell for a while, the bird will zap you out. Go ahead and pick up your stuff. There will be a little bag right here on the floor. If you want to repair your shield, you can go ahead and try to do that if necessary. All you're going to do is follow the bird, and that's pretty much it. Just keep following the bird around the map. For the most part, the bird will protect you from Brutus. So as you can see, you can just walk up to Brutus. But the bird is going to help stop Brutus. Now, you do have to watch out for his minions. The dogs will spawn in, so just be careful of the dogs. You will have a bunch of dog spawns in. You've got to kill the dogs. But for the most part, the bird will protect you from Brutus, so just bear that in mind. You're just going to follow the bird around the map. It'll take you back to spawn. Again, the dogs are kind of cannon fodder. They're not too strong, but you don't want to get overwhelmed. So once you get back to spawn, there will be Brutus. He'll basically pull a Mario and up his size, like so. And the Ghosts of Alcatraz will come and take care of him for you. He will go up into the skies, and then he will drop one final orb. Go ahead and pick that orb up. I want to be careful here because zombies can spawn in. Place that orb down. And then over here on the right, a door will open. So just to the right of this. So that door right there opens up. You're going to go to the top of these stairs, stand in the one that's unlit, and then just hold square. And you will have to do this with your whole team if you're by yourself. It's just that one spot. Now, this is the boss fight. So what you have to do is you're just going to kill everything around you. All the Brutuses spawn in, all the zombies, all the Hellhounds. Make sure you have shield charges. If you need to get them while you're doing this, you can go ahead and suck up the dogs, you know. So you can do that. Nice thing about having stamina up as the tonic is you can run around with it. So, you know, you can run around with your shield out. Kind of helps. You do want to, again, you just want to train around here. It's not the most dangerous area in the game. Just make sure that you train around. Make sure that you watch out for stuff that's spawning in. Make sure that you kill everything that spawns in. You know, don't, you know, take no prisoners. Just kill everything. Spam the Magmagat. If you have monkeys, if you got monkeys from earlier, you can go ahead and do that. And what you're going to do is you're going to watch out for a Brutus that is going to spawn on one of these little rocks or somewhere. You have got to run to the red inside the red force field once it spawns in. Occasionally, you will also get a carpenter. And I will just say this, if at any time in the game when your shield breaks, I've heard that if, like at least during this phase, if you go to that carpenter, you'll get another shield back or something like that. So you do need the shield for this boss fight, so just keep that in mind. I'm gonna go ahead and just kill everything, or at least try to. Probably should start using my gun now. So you'll see a max ammo will probably spawn in pretty soon, as well as a carpenter. You can go ahead and pick those two up real quick. And then quickly, after that, run to this red force field right here. He's going to spawn in. Shoot these orbs. If you stand outside this force field, you will take damage. You can die really quick. Once the 4 orbs are down, turn around and shoot the top of this machine up there until it kind of sparkles like that. Alright? So again, you're just going to hit it with your shield blast. You're going to hit until it permanently turns blue like that. And then all you're going to do is repeat the process again. So again, we're going to get up shield charges. Watch out for the stuff that's on the floor. Those red things can damage you. So just make sure you don't run into them. Alright, so those two just spawn back in. Go and grab them. Then quickly get to the force field. As you can see, I was starting to take damage there being outside of it. It will kill you really fast. Same as before. Shoot those with your bullet weapon. Turn around and start zapping the top of that. Now, as you can see, a bot Richtofen just spawned in. So once this machine is charged and it's lit up, a big Brutus will spawn in and try to kill you around the stage. Now at this point, if you're playing as Richtofen, you need to run up to this machine and hold square. If you are not Richtofen, as you can see, a boss will spawn in. If you are in co-op, whoever is playing as Richtofen will have to run up to this and use it. If there are no Richtofens in the game, again, you'll just have the bot spawn up, and there's the big Brutus as I mentioned. What happens is when you use that machine as Richtofen, you will end up going back to the spawn room. So you'll come out of a pod. All you have to do is after you come out of that pod, you just run up the stairs that you originally took to get out to the boss arena. Go stand again on the darkened thing or whatever. Hold square. And then you will be put out here. And then once you're put out here, okay, so after the Richtofen comes out and uses his little crystal, just make sure that you go up and hold square on the thing in the middle. You may have to do it a couple of times. And there you go. So after you hold square on the middle of that in the center of the boss arena, you should get the game ending cutscene. So that is all you have to do for the Blood of the Dead Easter egg. I will end the video now, but thanks for watching. This has been David from the Mr. Black YouTube channel. I hope you learned something new from this guide, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Peace out.